Let's go back and take another phone call. Doug in Walnut, California. Hi, Doug.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Great. I want to thank God for all of you, and I pray that your program and your help with your blood work and the health and as how you're passing it down to your daughter continues. Jesus said, "Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me?" 3 times to Peter, and at the end, he said, "Feed my people." That's exactly what you're doing. So praise God for you.
Bless you. Bless you. Thank you.
In Revelation, we've been going through the last year and a half preparing the kids for Revelation. I believe you have to prepare for Revelation. That means you have to read through the Bible to understand what Revelation is trying to culminate, trying to end. It could be really, if you can understand Harry Potter and all these other stories nowadays, you should be able to understand Revelation. No excuse is what the kids and I say today. No excuse. Thank you, Hollywood. So going into it, we got to chapter 7. We finished up to 10, so we're going to finish the other half in July. But we got through to chapter 7, chapter 8, where the 7 seals were finished. The 7th one was introducing the trumpets. And right before the trumpets were introduced, they, of course, had a sealing in chapter 7. The four angels held back the winds, and 144,000 were sealed. Right from 7 to 8, it talked about the 144,000 being sealed. We believe that to be those who are going to help those who are here on earth through the tribulation. And he turned around, John, the Revelator, turned around and saw then a bunch of people with white robes. It was said by the angel, you know who these are? They came from the Great Tribulation. We're trying to get a clarification on the 144,000 sealed and those who received their white robes from the Great Tribulation, if you would be so kind.
Yeah, well, sometimes I say, once you concoct your paradigm, and then your paradigm ends up determining you. And what I would say at the very beginning of this, and you sound like an educator and a very smart guy, what I would say that you want to do is you have to go back and find out what Revelation is all about. And when you do, you find out that Revelation is very much like Romans or any other book in the New Testament. It's not written to you, it's written for you. What I mean by that is Romans is written for Roman Christians in a first century context. The same thing is true with Revelation. It's written to 7 churches in the epicenter of a Caesar cult. And the Lord Jesus Christ, through the Apostle John, because this is the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave him to show his servants what must soon take place. He's giving a message to John to give to the 7 churches, and that message is be fruitful and faithful. You're going to suffer for a short time. Your vindication is an eternal vindication. So that historical context is about what's happening in a first century context. Now, it applies to us in that the same words, be fruitful and faithful, you're going to suffer for a short time, your vindication is an eternal vindication, applies to us as well. So I think it does everyone a great deal of good to go back and understand that the essence of Revelation is the unveiling of a bride. Another way of putting this is it is a wedding covenant from beginning to end. So it begins with 7 love letters to a persecuted bride. The persecuted bride is indicative of true Israel. And then it continues with the noxious vision of a prostituted bride. In other words, this is apostate Israel. And what John does is he uses these graphic Old Testament pictures so that we can see the judgment of God written on a 7-sealed scroll, announced by 7 angels with 7 trumpets and depicted through 7 plagues that befall a prostitute in bed with a beast. And then you have a conclusion with a perfected bride, and that's precisely what we're talking about when we talk about the 144,000. This is the great multitude. So just as John is told about a lion, he turns around and he sees a lamb, so he's told about 144,000. This is the great complement of God's people, the culmination of the pure bride carried over the threshold of Jordan into a new Jerusalem. I've written about this in various places, including the Apocalypse Code and the Complete Bible Answer Book.